You know, the one that Dak says, that's right.
That's right. That's absolutely right. But another thing is that I feel like this composition really plays into the style of South Built. We talked about how, specifically on IceBox, they start off super hot on the first 4 rounds. And then they kind of stall out because they once again, they love that CIS playstyle. They love being super methodical, super slow, maybe too disciplined to a fault. As we see Blurred try to go for a cheeky push here, try to poke a little bit of aggression and retaliation on the side of South Built. But they do go for that signature South Built style, well, where they go brick by brick. Patience is the absolute utmost of utmost importance. Right now, Naos, their defense is a little still stable as well. No over rotations as of the moment. The wall is going up and down. We have a minute, and they're gonna definitely wait for this Viper wall to come up. But now it does look like a gunfight is gonna ensue with 2 new players on the field, that being Bloss and Micro.
Oh, yeah. I am very much looking forward to seeing how Blast comes into this one, as well as Micro, as he pointed it out. But Blurred, what a shot on that Sheriff of his. 30 seconds, and SBE all but abandoned the A site, running straight on to B. But this is where Blast is king. He still has the Nanoswarm. He still has his turret there. And look at where his Nanoswarm is actually placed. Straight up so they cannot cross for that yellow. Pro's HP just dwindles down, and they're going to have to force a plant here. But look at how well defended this is. Blast is taking all the shots. Unfortunately, you can't see his perspective just yet. Spike will get planted, but the rest of the defenders just clean up the rest of the site, and nothing SBE can do as now is gobbled up for the first round.
Once again, interesting word choice and wordplay here by Aserai. Not really pointing out anything specific, but it does look like Naos, they are going for a much more rejuvenated look. They look very much invigorated. As Blast, knowing how aggressive he can be, and actually just this entire lineup. Beautiful shot by Blurred, by the way. And everything, and I mean everything, just seems to fall in the hands of our boys over at Naos.
All these utilities, man, just for that delay tactic. And I was kind of curious how this was going to work in the pistol for South Built, because especially on the attacking side, they do need all of that utility and firepower to make things work, right? And speaking of firepower, great shots from Ja there. He's going to get the heal because he's got a teammate that can just bring him back up. He's got that pocket sage, San all. Anyways.
Come on, man. Come on, man. We are on broad.
English viewers will not probably understand what that means, but yeah, it's good. Good start for SBE here. Blast still has all the delay tactics that he would want, but SBE do have the option to psycho their opponents, as there is still 1 minute into the clock. That is a huge wall just to corrupt or stop the defender from stopping the plant. Blast still hits the shot, though, as Jalicious doubles up with him. Almost misses the beat with the Spectre. And now Blast and Jalicious will wait for Kakarot and Blurred to come in, as it's a 2 versus 4 endeavor here. Defenders not really having anything good in their arsenal, and we're just left onto the 1 already, as these is being hounded down by Blurred. And with the Bulldog bites him off cleanly, Blast picks up the 4K, and they do take the retake.
That they do, but South Built, they built up a little bit of an economy for themselves and had some success finding those duels. They are going to have a very healthy bank coming into this one. So we are going to see a pretty partial buy on the side of Naos. They do have an extra rifle, albeit a Bulldog still going to do the job. But 5 Vandals on the side of South Built. Blast has been an absolute wall. He's been stopping everything. And it does look like he's truly earning his keep as one of our most iconic killjoys, at least for the day.
Now, this is the real test. You can always say that when it's the gun round, but more so on this one, because again, I was going to mention that without proper utility and weaponry, this comp would really have a difficult time finding opportunities to be good, because they really don't have that explosiveness that a duelist brings to the table. So gun rounds for SBE are a matter of life and death, because they can always win on... I don't think they're going to have a huge chance to win on thrifties, right? Especially on the attacking side. So if they can make the most out of these gun rounds, the more that they should be able to make it happen, or should try to make it happen.
It does look like Micro has a bit of a flank here, going into the loving arms of Kevs. But Kevs just does not want to reciprocate. He's like, you know what, bud? You can stay there. He can stay at arm's length. As the rest of the boys at South Built, they creep up on yellow. They creep up towards B. It does look like this is going to be a super similar situation where they are going to get that plant down. But this retake is going to be completely different. I think Joss spots out the head of Kakarot and he'll even spray it down. But not anything considerable as this will actually fall. Micro will avenge his teammate, but he is temporarily blinded. As Rat tries to swing into Snowman, trying to stop that retake.
Oh my God.
But the feet planted by Naos is just a little too firm. They are pushed back just a tiny bit. But we do finally see another round on the board for South Built Esports.
A little bit too advanced there on our observer, but
yes,
gotta say, I just love that wall from Flippy. I know we don't usually, we do usually see that now from a couple of teams because it does allow you safer access to start pushing into Snowman. If there's no one, or even if there is one playing on Snowman already, if you can flush them out, that gives you so much control at the back of the site that you can see everything from Snowman to up until yellow. It just gives you a nice little crossfire angle that you can use with the rest of your team there. And it also makes the defenders a little bit wary because they thought that it's going to be an angle that they can well utilize. So good wall just used and everything. Jalicious' lurk, not really more of a lurk, more of a punished endeavor there. Blurred, my goodness, this man, even with the Bulldog, is so ferocious. Still gets the kill, the trade. It's beautiful, but if SBE can regain control of B-Long, he can revive his teammate. Blur still holding the angle with the dash, but it's not going to work. Kakarot just trying to delay even further. Might try to peek kiss right now as he throws out the molly just to force back the rest of the attackers. They still are playing this heavy contact play, Raph, and it is working. They've dwindled down the numbers into the 4 versus 3. The util's being used just to clear up onto mid. Now, with 50 seconds, they're eyeing what is on that A site.
That they do. They do set their sights and their priorities towards the A site. Blast is going to be there, though. He's always been so reliable on being such a great sentinel to delay and be as impactful as he can be. But Pro might actually tagging up just a tiny bit. Instead, they choose to dart up second floor and a little bit behind box. They go for default plant. Blast looks to try and be clever here. Does not get spotted out. Instead, it's the rest of the boys on South Built that get punished for this. They will find Flippy. This is going to be infinitely more difficult as the rest of South Built have already posted themselves in the post plant, and they are making a mad scramble for the spike. It is not meant to be, as Naos, they have firm control over the situation. And no matter what side, A or B, it's proven to be such a difficult endeavor for South Built.
And this is why you want Blast on one of these sites, because they have to push in at ground level. So Nano Swarms, if they can't see it line of sight and destroyed, right? And you can just place it around the corner. It's going to have that AoE. It's going to reach where Felipe was trying to plant. It's a perfect example of how very easily Blast can actually stop the attackers, because again, they don't have that speed to get in on these sites right now. And you really see the difficulties for SBE to make this work. So ideally, maybe they're going to be looking for the defending half coming into the next half. But right now, they are very much struggling to make these contact plays work, because even if they can get all the contact plays in the world, if they can't really take the site where Blast is and plant the spike that gives them the post plant, which we haven't really seen in these 4 rounds, SBE kind of dropping the ball in this one, Raph.
Oh yeah. And on a stifled buy, whatever they can do may be a little more challenging now. They finally set the Viper wall, but Yellow still looks to be as precarious as Blurred. The Resident Jet is going to have a bit of a shooting range. He finds one, can't really find another, but that's more than enough. Contemplates if he should aggress, but Jet will fall. But he will finally get a second for himself. The rest of Naos, they do fight the classic. That is a free gun, by the way, as Aserai would love to say. Does its damage, does its worth. It is still a 2v3, but with a gun advantage massively favoring Naos. This is such a difficult round and almost assured to be in the hands of Naos. Kakarot, I don't know, man. Did I jinx it? I'm not sure, but Micro has to ace here. There's only 14 seconds. His heart must be beating. super, super hard, but we know, well, we know a little too early what happens there.
No sound, no indication that Blast was already coming from that lurk, and Micro very focused on what was in front of him that he could not see what was behind. I think nothing profound, you know, just really what
nothing
it
profound, just behind.
Yeah, exactly.
It's behind you.
Yeah.
But once again, right, I want to highlight that Blurred is the type of duelist to really, or the type of player to just never really overextend. He was thinking about peeking again, but he was waiting for his teammate to play, or rather a teammate he can play contact off. Now it does look like Kevs is going to be a little more advanced here. One thing that Naos have to take care of is that Je has been dying very, very early. We've seen his super memorable 4K towards green, towards B main, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the teams, if not all the teams we have here, have gotten a bit of a hint of how he wants to play his angles.
I don't know how he does it or how his brain works, but I love how you pointed it out. That's one of the reasons why he's probably one of my favorite duelists from when I saw him when he was still with GBP Esports, a Cebuana-based team. Shout out to GBP anyways. Hopefully we can see them maybe on the next VCT. Anyways, John! Holy guacamole! He actually just runs into the side if he gets a second shot. I'm going to eat something spicy later on, but no, he just backs away. He's going to get the heal first, you know. Hunter's Fury just to clear out Kevs, making it a little bit honest as the rest of Naos now try to retake the site here. Blurred has an operator. So, yeah, maybe good luck going into a Viper Spit with that one. But if he makes it work, then I'll eat another thing that is spicy. We'll see, we'll see.
What are you talking about? I think somebody's really hungry here. Somebody send this man some food because it does look like Naos. They want to feast. They want to take the site. And oh my goodness, did I just see Je walk into that? So, you know what? I'm not scared of you. But South Build, they're giving them all the reasons to be. But the trades, it's so chaotic. It's reduced to 2v1. The numbers, they eventually fall and suffocate Naos as SB. They take their second round.
Very expensive. Do they have money? Yes, they do. To be able to buy back up again. Oh, did you just see Micro just zoom past Kevs? And he was like, oh no, what happened? But oh, this first pick from Ja, just chef's kiss. So beautiful. Definitely a tour de force moment there. A feat of strength from Ja's chamber. There was no secrets on this one.
Indeed,
well,
no secrets.
From the chamber.
Nothing profound, more food-related things. Blurred tries his hand at this, but he doesn't have a dash, doesn't have a life to play with anymore, as this denies him of a forward position. The guns, they are already a bit of an ROI already on South Built. They still take this slowly. They still want to take this as patiently as they can. They don't want to fall into the trap of being overconfident against these eco rounds.
But with Blur going down, it's definitely a much more digestible pace here, or a digestible situation. I'll just go with situation, yeah. For Southfield Esports, Ja's going to be playing on pipes. I was going to wonder how they're going to reach on pipes. Todoy Asarai, there's still the zip line. There's still the way to go up on pipes without being a jet with the updraft. It's still perfectly fine. Hunter's Fury just to delay the inevitable. That was... I'm gonna say it already here, man. Kind of a big commitments for Naos. Jalicious trying to play zipline, man. It's not gonna work. Molly forces back Blast, and now Kevs and Blast 2 versus 5. These guys against the world with just pistols in hand and a dream to maybe make it to Thrifty. Probably not. If they leave Blast to buy his lonesome, he will not have money.
That was very, very interesting, honestly, to see. I love the bravado of Jet to try and take that away from Micro, but I mean, what else did he have to lose, right? He only had a classic, but the classics, they can be deceptively powerful. Now that round lead is slowly within reach of South Build. We have yet another reset point, another swing point for both these teams, whether it be good or bad. Now they finally have guns on the board, and I think they have a healthy batch of utility. Not much in terms of ultimates, but they're very, very close. If they can manage to take away a little bit of orb control, this could be very, very good in their favor. But it does look like they're going to go for that aggressive mid-take again with Kevs. That is something that Southbuild haven't really done or really warranted. They haven't really taken too much kitchen control or pressured tube. So maybe they're trying to bait out Kevs to rotate away from that. It's one of those long-term plays.
I will probably add the fact that with the composition that they have, it might not be as ideal to use that. Yes, you could probably use Sage Wall to cross in, but if the defenders are there, they can always just throw their own molly or break the wall, catch you on the trend. And I think refrags might not be as efficient for SBE because they're looking for a much more safer path. And there is an incredible amount of risk when you try to go for mid. I'm just going to keep going back into this. I sound like a broken record already without having the speed of a duelist, right? So
Speed.
Yeah, I am speed. Ka-chow.
I love Toy Story. Get baited. But anyway. Anyway. Yeah, you're absolutely correct with your assessment of how they don't have that immediate space control that duelists really take. At least the physical space, right? But Kevs, I think he probably positions himself perfectly here, but the question is, can he line him up? He finds one, he transfers to two, a third potentially, but no, Flippy, he even gets the res. The numbers are back in their favor, at least equal, but Kakarot, he takes one. Flippy's warpath is still continuing, but where did Micro come from? Reduced to 1v1, and Flippy is the hero of Southbuilt. And Naos, they get decimated. A very, very smart play on their end. But the mechanical bailout by Flippy was just a little too powerful. Now we are evened up.
Well, I'm going to eat my words a little bit. That mid play was somewhat successful. It did take them quite a bit, but I don't expect Naos to actually have thought that all of them would just be okay pushing through the Viper smoke and somehow still get all of this juicy little treats as they start pushing right in. Man, I am just not on point with what I'm saying here. But it was very close, though. You saw how much difficult it was for SBE to just finish off that particular round. Still, as you mentioned, perfectly executed by Flippy. And I'm not hungry. I'm good. I'm just hungry for some good Valorant. That's what I'm hungry for.
I'm pretty sure you're hungry for food, you know. I mean, Valorant, it's absolutely filling. Don't skip meals, guys. If you want to have the best gaming experience, just don't skip meals. It's not good for you. It's not good for your body. Getting shot in the head is also something suboptimal, as Ja confidently walks into yellow with absolutely no response, or at least no resistance on the side of Naos. They do have these sheriffs that they've proven to be absolutely lethal with. But Southbuilt, they try to continue their march. Kakarot is here. He does throw that 0 point, will spot out one, and will somewhat silence the noise that Ja has been making, but it is not meant to be, as Ja tries to get that engine going, but Ja has thrown a wrench right into that plan, and somehow, some way, nobody has flushed him out yet.
30 seconds left.
Oh, this is perfect, because Ja has given them basically everything, up until the point that he got spotted by Kakarot, but still, I mean, the rest of his teammates will be there. Just take the sight. No way. No way he picks up the weapon on that one and still holds the lurk. But that does eat up a bunch of time for Blur to get back onto the side. And still a 3 versus 2 in the end. He's going to have to dash prematurely. This is going to hurt his chances. But the timing to peek on Micro is absolutely disgusting here from Blurred. A 2 versus 2. He just jiggles straight up. And hopefully he was thinking that maybe Kevs could have helped him. Max range or over the max range, only hits for 145 for that headshot, so Flippy still survives that encounter, and it could have been something beautiful, but I think the timing was just maybe a fraction, a hairline off for a beautiful simultaneous kill there from Naos, supposedly.
That's right, hairlines can definitely contribute to your beauty, and that was something that Kevs just really couldn't capitalize on. Sometimes the Sheriff is a cruel mistress. Again, it has the potential of a main rifler, but sometimes, just slightly off the mark. Naos, though, they narrowly take that away from Southbuilt. I think they're building just a little bit more momentum for themselves, and they're kind of getting back onto that pace that they prefer. Kevs will take that initial duel against the Ziz and will come out on top. He does have a full bag of utility here, but this was something that we anticipated from Southbuilt. Finally an effort to take Kitchen, but that drone is going to spot them out. Or is it going to be timing? They do find Flippy. They even get a glance of Ja. Fortunately for them, not a lot of utility to capitalize on all that info, but Kevs is gonna make sure they're gonna be locked down, and I can't believe that did no damage. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. It's cray-cray, my bro. Oh my god, where did that come from? Through the smoke. There was no window or wall, but it was through the smoke that got him. And watch him fall. 3 versus 5. Blur still has an operator, but he's all the way to back of B. But they shouldn't really fear A site too much because this is where Blast reigns supreme. Waiting patiently for them to just charge right up. The delay tactics. Oh my goodness, they try to cross on through the smoke and get absolutely demolished. We do have one more. That's going to be Pro. Spotted and gutted. Cavs picks up the 4K. He will be giving this charge to Delicious as 3 of the members of Naos now have their ultimates, but a really solid round there from Naos. This mid-play was successful for a couple of rounds for SBE, but Naos, as I mentioned, it's going to be a very difficult endeavor to actually make it work because, again, it's not as free-flowing as A main or B main.
And the machine-like proficiency of Naos is starting to rear its head, but Blas does look like he wants to, or at least he has an idea of taking mid aggressively once more. Kev's also going for that massive 4K. If I remember in stage 1, he had this massive streak of just going absolutely ballistic. That was an unreal stretch of games, and it does look like he wants to get back into that form. He does have all the tools in his bag to do that. He has Hunter's Fury, if ever that Killjoy ult is gonna assist him in taking control. But right now, it does look like things are gonna slow down yet again. That Shock Dart is gonna tickle Ja just a tiny bit, but him losing that armor is just gonna make those Phantoms that much more lethal.
Recon Dart for a bit of that information. Kev's not spotted. Blast not spotted. Ja, I think, sniffed out by Blast here. He's slowly peeking the corner, and Ja just did not know where to peek initially first, and Blast takes him down. Flippy holding the angle here. Here's the Recon drone. Can't really challenge it because it does not want to get tagged. Recon Dart going to make it even more difficult for him. Never mind. Still hits a shot. Just reads Kev's like an open book. Oh, the recipe is a recipe for Kev's disaster. That was a little bit unfortunate. And now in a 4 versus 4, SBE set their sights onto the A citation here. But the thing is, Blast is still here again. Oh, okay, never mind. Null Command will basically make him null and void. If they can spot his utility, break it down as they try to get the spike planted down. This is going to be absolutely perfect for them.
Timing.
And Delicious just running through on A main. Heard perfectly by Micro. Blast uses his ultimate for the retake, but the thing is, they're all the way back onto A main here on Belt. So attackers can just take their sweet, sweet time, but Flippy will not as he gets spotted, gutted, and just thwarted.
Oh, who got... Oh, what? I thought it was Pro that got detained. Apparently not. Works out in the favor of South Build, but now they still have very much the advantage here. Kakarot and Blurred, they absolutely annihilate the competition as this will have to try and hold this down. Nearly gets the click, but nope, it is Blurred to be the hero, getting a massive 3K to retain and take that lead away once more. Now they look to streak this. I think they have the last 2 rounds before the side swap, and they want to continue this momentum moving forward with the match.
That was already brilliant from Blurred. How did they drop that one? Nobody was on the spike, by the way, and they just double challenged it. They could have waited. Maybe a miscommunication of something. They just lacked to say, dude, that guy's not on the spike. We don't really have to go for this. It's technically a 2 versus 2 because Kakarot is still coming up onto Belt. Maybe going up onto A main. That was just very, very mistimed here. Or rather, not the Kakarot, excuse me, SBE. That was just mistimed from Aziz. Now, Hunter's Fury is used somewhere. Kevs, does he actually get the proper guess on where the counterpart is? Nobody got tagged for the most part. Ja actually loses his life. Some snazzy movement from Kevs here. Loving the use on that Shock Dart plus his just strafe jump back into safety. There is Aziz and Pro working their magic onto mid. Aziz gets spotted already. Kev's looking to challenge. And Aziz, does he have the timing? Absolutely not here, Raph. Blast does get knocked off, which gives Micro the chance to get the A site. But the plant actually to follow right afterwards. This is absolutely amazing. 2 versus 3. The thing is,
So difficult.
It is a 2 versus 3. Yeah.
Indeed, this is going to be so difficult for both sides, honestly. They still have so many ultimates and so much utility on hand. But right now, it is a game of patience, and who is going to crumble first? They're waiting, or rather, Naos is waiting to position themselves as best they can. But Blurred, he doesn't see him in time. It doesn't matter. The last two have been executed. And Naos, they take a 2-round lead just before we go into the half. Been
sorry, I was just gonna say,
Switching sides.
Viper's Pit isn't really the scariest of utilities in a 2 versus 3 when you're the Viper and just a teammate remaining, because even though you can go for those trades, some teams are just very used to going through that utility already, and you see how just very experienced Naos are. Oh man, I just gotta give it to like that pickup from Cavs. Just moved and defended Boilers so majestically. Made it easier for his team to just rotate back onto the A side and play that 3 versus 2. But yeah, very difficult to kind of play inside the Viper's Pit if you're kind of outmanned and you don't really have position to be cheeky, as it were.
I'm not entirely sure if South Build had the opportunity to burn that res on Flippy. But either way, with Naos positioning themselves to have a successful flank, they just made things infinitely worse on the side of South Build. But once again, we're going to have a bit of a reset here. It does look like we're going to just have a little bit of a chit-chat here with our halftime pause. Give our players a little bit of a break because, my goodness, that was a very, very grueling first half. That was one of the most, if not the most back-and-forth map we've seen so far. Or rather, half we've seen so far.
Yeah, and it's such a treat to actually watch it. And where are we actually looking at?
Where what?
Yeah, this one. This I can see.
It's an IceBox.
I can see KO's behind. Obviously, it's IceBox. Where an IceBox? I think it's the attacker spawn.
It's an IceBox.
Completely forgot what I was gonna say to answer, or to kind of answer back to what you were saying. Dang it, Raph.
You mean it's an IceBox? Anywho.
Yeah, where my heart used to be, you know. It's so cold. It's so cold.
Of course, that would have to come out. It was just a matter of time before we were trying to reference so many movies and now songs. It's really going to be an unending train. And it's only the first day, too. But I hope you folks at home are, once again, esteemed guests of the broadcast. Hope you guys are enjoying the matches. And hopefully me and Asarai and the rest of the boys with Dax and Black and Blue. And, of course, everybody on the panel has been, you know, entertaining you.
Yeah.
Don't make
Better
it
entertain me, boy.
I just said don't make it. This tandem is too powerful. But we do see early orb control on Flippy. They really want to get that res on site as quickly as they can. And I feel like one of the philosophies they're going with this comp is that maybe we don't need that immediate space taking with a duelist. Maybe we want to play as a death ball. We want to play as compact as we can. So maybe we can maximize the value of our flashes, of our general utility from our Sova. It does look like Naos, they are still picking and prodding. The wall is already set on B, but it does look like they're much more interested in A, sending about 4 people there now with a minute left in the round. Asarai,
it's gonna be all up to Flippy. Well, Joss at the back of the site, but I think Flippy's wall is gonna be just very crucial up until this point. Joss so close that he just love taps Blurred's brains and splatters it all across the IceBox A site. Look at how the defenders of SB here perfectly just segregate the remaining of Naos. Kakarot and Cavs just cannot push through. That Viper wall made it absolutely clear. We have marked our territory. This is ours.
30 seconds
and you will have to go the other opposite direction. But to the betterment here of Naos, there is no big utility that will scare them. Maybe if there's a snake bite that came through and stopped Kakarot from planting.
Don't jinx it, please, for the love of everything holy. And I swear, one more second of talking, a shock dart from Bind was gonna hit him for absolutely no reason. We were going to see a stray name in that kill feed, but Kakarot uses his utility defensively, flushes out any perpetrator on yellow potentially. Cavs does not get the recon dart in time, and now they've been discovered. This clandestine operation has been revealed, and Pro and the rest of the boys over at South Build are still absolutely surgical, following in the footsteps of early round Aziz.
Well, technically, I wasn't wrong. There was a snake bite that actually forced Kakarot.
It's one of
Just,
those moments, right? Like, please, please do not let a breeze touch me, please.
Oh, that's just a nasty shot, and you get TP on out. That's perfect. Shock Dart's not really going to be something you have to fear anymore when you still have a good chunk of HP because, guys, if you haven't read the patch notes, it's been nerfed. So, yeah.
I was just about to say it makes no sense. But,
For the
you know
Shock
what? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little spoiled with the Shock Dart damage, but it could be for the betterment of the game, yeah.
I will say, though, it's kind of the same with the satchel charges. You remember when it was 75 damage per satchel?
Oh yeah, well that was kind of crazy, honestly. That had no reason. Doing that much damage is delicious. Once again, is the member to fall the earliest on the side of Naos, and they desperately need that sightline coverage. They cannot try, or rather, it is such a dangerous task for them to swing out on these open sight lines that South Built have really locked down, and missing that controller is just going to make this situation infinitely worse.
And they're on pistols, so...
That is true, that is true.
Yeah. Oh, I like Flippy's angle here. He's not going to get peeked out. Ooh, if he dies to this one... Never mind. He still gets a 2K. Perfect. Boost himself off from the wall? Nah, he just uses the crossover. Pro will use it though. Zip lines to victory. He gets stabbed in the back. There it is. I was waiting for it. Kakarot. Oh, he's already won the game. He's already won our hearts. Kakarot.
The first knife, and it is in the hands of Naos. 7-7 is the scoreline. That is going to be a little bit of a psychological damage on the side of South Built, but once again, they are a team that is very hard to shake. Naos though, they are still getting that momentum that they want, or at least they're doing their best to build that, once again, that forward presence that they would love to play off. Kakarot, very cheeky, very cheeky.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna, you know, like do anything other than that, but he definitely won the hearts of the people. What is this?
This is called Valorant, sir.
Oh wow, I thought it was Radiant.
Okay,
wait. Down. Jaw's gonna peek this one, and there's like 3 people looking at him. No, never mind. He has an off angle, maybe? Oh, he does! No way, he actually crouches Blurred's headshot angle there! Oh my god, am I gonna lose my mind right now? Oh, what? How did he predict that? That was nasty.
That was a big risk. Okay. And if it's not you who lost his mind, it's actually Blurred. That is going to be a Vandal still not being given to the side of South Built. They had to get that space, or at least just get a pick off here. Ja, he's still lurking towards yellow. Kevs might actually find the timing here. And it does look like it's a bit of a tease on both sides. That 0 point is going to catch him out. The swing is there. He finds Ja again. But Kevs is so quick on that trade. The wall is up. Kakarot still has a flash and that 0 point available to him. The numbers advantage still on the side of South Built despite having a bit of a thinner armory here. It does look like this lurk is anticipated, but Pro needs to land this shot or at least delay him for as long as he can. The turret is going to come out. That Phantom 6th man, it is going to cover, but Pro has resigned to holding on towards Snowman instead. 17 seconds. Naos have to move. Naos have to get something, but they do get 2 in return. Micro, he swings out super wildly. Aziz, he still has so much utility, Aserai. It's down to both the bots, and Aziz proves to be the superior machine, at least in that very moment.
Oh man, I really like what Blast tried to do there. He waited for such a long time to push out onto Kitchen. It was actually a good idea because he had so much pinch play that if he actually got maybe a kill off of that particular angle, he would have broken through the defense of SBE. But check this out, Micro went for an even more delay rotate to come out of Hut towards onto Kitchen, and Blast was not really expecting that one. Gets caught, and the rest of this round was history already. Oh my goodness, what is this SBE that we're seeing? I mean, it's still neck and neck. And I gotta say, Naos is doing phenomenally here, but there is some really in-depth stuff that I'm seeing from SBE that they did not see before, especially, again, when they played during the group stage.
Absolutely. A lot of the discipline has really been paying off for South Build here. Orb control is going to be given up very, very early, but instead they choose to play with the ranges of the Vandal. We already saw a bit of a heartbreaker with Kevs landing the shot but could not find the fatal last hit. Micro does have 2 snake bites to his name, so he is going to deny default just a tiny bit. Still wary of that flank, but does he know that Je is hiding right around the corner? He spots one. Doesn't really get any damage. Instead, he will be the oppressor here. Despite getting tagged up, despite getting hit by the 0 point, the retake is already in play. But I feel like with this plant going down, this is already the primary objective for Naos.
Sheesh.
Micro finds a frag. Blurred is so low. Flippy even chimes in to find Blas.
And here's the thing, without a Sage Wall, they can get pushed back as far as this B site. Snappy little transition there from Micro. Whoa! What a headshot! Okay, it's nothing spectacular, but the pre-fire was kind of snazzy. Anyways, Kevs, you know how good he can be on that Sheriff, but this time, it's a snake bite that takes him off the board. It's the Viper that just makes him go to sleep. 7-9, SBE. They're ramping up the round advantage here, Raph. But now, as they still have some time to stop the bleeding, stop the swelling of this game, because SBE is starting to get out of control.
I feel like a lot of people would love to be tucked in by Viper. You know what I mean? Have a good night's rest, but it doesn't seem like Viper's that type of person. I don't know, I could be assuming things. But now, once again, the round lead, it is on the side of SB. I think this is their biggest one on this map, if I'm not mistaken. The operator is finally going to come out on the side of Ja, and we see a little bit of early aggression here, a little bit of anticipation from the 0 point. It is going to get snuffed out. The dart is also going to be removed by Blurred, but they are going to be spotted out. Mid presence is absolutely a non-factor here for both teams, so this might be just a straight-up brawl. Don't really have any ultimates on both sides, but Kevs, we know the amount of fragging power he has. One hit to the head, he could have that Hunter's Fear for that post plan, but look at that. That is a chunky shock dart.
This keeps at least the members of Naos honest. Oh, they didn't know the Bro actually dropped down, but the flash makes him just jitter a little bit on his aim. He's going to get dropped by Blur here, and this is the perfect time for Naos to strike fast and hard. The thing is, again, they're going to be planting onto the corner. Nobody will be able to peek out because that Viper wall makes it safe. No Kakarot. He's about to get... thought he was going to get maybe flanked from the back, but not going to work. Micro spots out the head, but it's flipping. It catches him off guard. They're coming in through orange here, but they're going to get peeled by Delicious with the 3K coming in through Jungle Gym, or the Jungle Bars. And, oh my goodness, SBE just did not know where to look in that fight.
That's right, he might have been slipping, he might have fell off those bars, but he is still the king of the playground, trying to cut this lead down. One more swing, one more big swing could easily be the reason why Naos is going to take this map. But once again, Southfield, they're not going to let that happen. They're not going to let this go as easily. But oh, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful lineup and beautiful composure by Jay there to just really focus on the head. We do see a little bit of a armor reduction here on Flippy. Has to settle down for 25. He still does have that res. They do have null command in their pockets as well. But Southfield, they have to keep themselves composed here. Otherwise, Naos, they could just go full force, hit another haymaker.
It has worked previously before. Wait, huh? Where did Micro find that? Never mind. Regardless, if they try to plant this right now, Aziz still has his molly. The timing is just beautiful. It will delay them even further. The defenders coming in on mid. I like how we still do see Ja and Flippy just kind of checking what's on the back. Oh. Because there's so many molly abilities for SBE, even through the Viper Spit, Naos just cannot plant the spike, and somehow they get the kill through the Viper ultimate. And now, Blurred and Blast are the ones to remain, but maybe it's good because these guys, the double Bs, they're just blasting through and blurring the lines. We'll see if they can clutch this one because it's still 3 versus 2. The cross hold by Zhao with the operator. He catches through. Not going to happen. 30 seconds. Going to have to plant the spike. But look at this. That Cloudburst is about to dissipate. And Blur's life is going to be not forfeit. They still are able to fight, but Blast gets spotted through a yellow. And now it's Blurred against the world. Did he activate the blades? Not enough time. No chances given. And SBE retake the round for at least the first 10th in this IceBox map.
That's right, Blurred Lines initiating the Dance of Death, but it's Southbuilt hitting those double digits. As well, the first ones to do it. Beautiful, beautiful retake, but a masterclass of mechanics all around the board. We still have 2, maybe 3 more gun rounds in the left for Naos here, at least economy-wise. Beautiful, beautiful shots, like I said, being landed. But the timing on SBE and this newfound discipline for Aziz has been really, really helping the IceBox effort. The operator is still in the hands of Ja. Still a very much deadly, deadly weapon, but still a relatively quiet game aside from that wild tour de force entry. We don't have a Viper's Pit anymore on the side of Jalicious, so that post-plant shenanigans might not be as potent. And we do see Micro use his to just gatekeep a site.
This is a site where, as a Viper, it's very easy for you to just defend it. TBH, right? You can just throw your snake bites. If they're somehow middle of your Viper ultimate already, they're probably half HP. They die very quickly, or they take very substantial damage that if you come to punish them, you're probably just going to need like 1 bullet to take 1 player down. But that last round, you really do see the difficulties when you don't have a Sage, right? There will be a different approach that you have to do, especially on this B side. People will say, has their IceBox been changed so that doesn't happen? But no, you still need the wall so that nobody peeks you around that corner, so that nobody can throw mollies without it bouncing or just going straight to the default plant spike, ruining your time and just basically just ruining everything, right? But anyways, this 2-pronged attack working phenomenally here for Naos as Jalicious and Kakarot blast through onto the site itself. And they make SBE have a run for their money. Somehow, some way, SBE have botched this mid control. And Ja with the operator, well, he's going to have to just give it up. Micro thinking that maybe somebody's just going to be lurking through the A site. Not really. They're just going to go here and make camp for this round because they have absolutely nowhere else to go. Ja is... okay, just going to reposition. You're fine. You're good. Next round. GG go next.
Yes, they definitely have to concede this round with all things considered. And now, once again, Naos, that brilliance that we've seen time and time again has reared its head. They can be absolutely robot-like with their efficiency. And again, that's not a pun because their KO is probably one of their most successful agents. They have to keep that consistent, though, because Southbuilt, they've been adjusting on the fly so quickly. Naos, they've been trading punches, but we just don't have enough rounds. If they can't cut the lead down, then it could be very, very precarious. But it does look like that check mark on that box could be completed very, very soon. As I mentioned, if this momentum continues. Yet another buy round on the side of Southbuilt, but heavily hampered in terms of ultimates in comparison to Naos.
Well, if Ja still has that operator of his, can always make it work. Blurred, loving this play from him. Does get a lot of mid control already, which again, they did utilize on that last round. The thing is, he's already used his dash. So what this can maybe just hope to do is allow his teammates to cross. But you can see Ja, not Jed, Ja, on the SBE side. He's waiting for Blur to get cheeky, maybe peek up onto B main or B site and see if he can get a catch off. The timing will have to be perfect here because that B main control is, or excuse me, that mid control is very non-existent. Jalicious will not be able to go on to kitchen without being spotted by that trademark. So there really isn't a lot of options for Naos here. And SBE are playing this super far back. Ooh, that is very close.
And beautiful, beautiful awareness to sniff out the utility on both sides here. The dart was denied. The trademark was denied. Jalicious, he pulls back. He pulls the rest of his team to a more defensive stance. But wow, a blind ult coming from Pro. Doesn't really tag up anyone just yet. But narrowly tickles Naos here. 30 seconds. They finally expend that lockdown to take control of A side. And now SBE, they're gonna have to settle for a retake. But what is this aggression? Kakarot finds the head of Aziz through the smoke. And they cover Kakarot as he is going to be their front man for now. All that utility is going to be such a big deterrent. And now with Aziz gone, that 0 point could have been so helpful. But now they have to operate in a 4v5 situation. Micro has both snake bites, and that gas is slowly building up for his Viper utility. But Kakarot continuing on his rampage. But SBE, they will not fall. Kakarot finds a third. Maybe on pace for the ace? Could be a question. He finally finds the fourth, but Pro denies him. Je will have to be the hero, but suddenly Pro, a second win. Once again, a Sova versus Sova situation. Kevs, he swings, he peeks, he finds him. And now it's tied up. 10 apiece for both teams.
Definitely no time for him to have fought Kevs there and gotten the defuse in time. There's someone kind of sus in that replay. I think that was the flank coming in from... I like to say Delicious. I think he came in through the back and just started peeking through against them. Oh no, never mind. It was just I thought it was, but never mind. Pro almost got the clutch there, but it was just not enough time. Initially, Kakarot just being Kakarot, man, getting those initiate kills, this beautifully executed Blurred. He can always hit these pixel shots. That's why he's just re-peeking the angle. He has no fear whatsoever. And right now, again, because of that, they just get this control again onto the A side. Nobody's on this A side whatsoever here, Raph. The only ones who do have the rifles, Micro and Ja, are actually separated from the two. Kevs is the first angle, and Ja wasn't even expecting that. Good double peek from Naos.
Beautiful read on the side of Naos, and Blurred hits the fadeaway on Aziz. It is up to Micro to try and save this Vandal, but not even that tiny corner can save him from the wrath of Naos, as once again they wrestle for control of this lead. Leading 11-10. This game is really getting closer and closer to a bit of a nail-biter. If not, it already is. And like I said, this was an absolutely perfect read on Naos. They had two anti-flank. Seems like the habits of South Build are getting snuffed out now. And Naos, they take the wheel. No, don't do it. I can hear you giggling. Don't do it. Stop.
I'm sorry. All right.
We're just good. Go ahead, man.
Delicious, take the wheel.
He had to let it out. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
We're good. Wheels.
Well, it's fine. This is the perfect time to do that because we do have a timeout from South Build Esports here.
Maybe this should have came sooner. Yeah. I feel like they had, once again, they had a 2-round lead and it started dwindling, but I guess that was the most apparent round, right? When the read was just absolutely on the nose.
I was going to mention, in terms of the overall kills, right? Ja is actually underperforming right now on the chamber. He's been put on a position where he has to always fight or die, right? Because if he gets the rendezvous to get out, then perfect. But if he gets tagged by Kakarot's KO Blade, he just has to fight the angle. But there's so many opponents that just peek him simultaneously that he can't really find any form of leeway through that. Nice little KO Blade lineup there from Kakarot. That clears up a lot of the yellow, if not all of yellow. So this gives Naos so many options to kind of figure out if they want to go for this B site. That being said, Micro is here. He's placed his wall just to stop the cross coming in to B here. The flash coming through. He actually gets fully flashed. He's being chased down here by Blurred. Oh my goodness, this is so close. And Pro about to swing. If he dies, that's going to be a huge, huge no-no. But he does get it. Beautifully executed. Kakarot's head not spotted by Micro. The spike is planted, but the retake numbers in the advantage of SBE. Is there going to be someone to actually hold for the flank or try to go for the flank on Naos' end? Not going to happen because they have a world of lineups. Delicious, Blast, and Kevs all have ultimates to use, or all have lineup abilities to use to just delay the fuse on the spike.
And if they can be a bit more patient, that 0 point is going to completely eliminate this tour de force. But Kakarot, he walks in, he dodges the flash, but assist is too quick. Kevs, he tries to hold on, but Micro finishes him off. And now South Build quickly regain consciousness. They now finally tie it up, 11-11. And this could be it, folks. This could be the deciding round, whether we go into overtime or whether we go into a big, big swing. So far, it's only been a matter of 2 rounds. So this is still really in there. I feel like this would be a smart time for Naos to kind of get all those nerves out of the way. Maybe that was a little bit of an overheat with what they were trying to do. We saw them push smokes. They went overly aggressive with the flashes. Once again, in the heat of battle, it really is hard to decide what was the good play or not.
How did that even happen? They had so much delay tactics, right? And did we see this before from SBE where they actually got those simultaneous kills again on IceBox? It's either SBE or Oasis that got that. Can't remember. I think it might have been Oasis, but well, SBE taking a page out of that book. Wall to stop the push on maze, so they're not gonna get lost in the maze. I guess you have to go through the regular path, but Aziz is already waiting for that inevitable aggression if ever it does happen. Pro timely uses the excuse me, Sova drone to pick up on mid, and that should give enough info here for SBE, especially with the blade, that now the A site is where the action will happen.
That's right, and they do try to fight for that maze, playing like the Sayas, slaying the bull. That is going to be the SBE defense, and it does look like it's still pretty even here. A lot of the members are falling on the side of Naos, though, as SBE, they remain healthy. 35 seconds left on the clock. They have to make a decision now, otherwise they'll be running into a wall of players. Still, the trades, they go in the favor of Kakarot. They find Flippy. That was the key to the lengthening of the lives. South built here, we do see a pretty low HP Aziz here, but he does finally find his kill. He finds another one, yet another 1v1 situation. Micro, he knows he has to play time. Kakarot, he does throw that 0 point, but he's not gonna find anything.
10 seconds.
He tries to creep up. Once again, the maze. It's gonna be in the maze. And he's forced to stick the plant. He even goes for the fake. Super ballsy. But Micro, he's so disciplined. He doesn't overextend. And yet another round. And even a consolation prize finding Kakarot. 12-11. SBE, they're at the cusp of sweeping Naos.
Oh my goodness, that was... Okay, here's the thing. In that very specific instance, I think Kakarot made a mistake. He tried to pre-fire an angle when there was still a second left onto the clock. And if you think about it that way, that was a second that might have made Micro guess. Because I don't think Micro heard that Kakarot was off on the plant on the spike. He wasn't like running around or anything. I think he was just still shift walking. So with that being said, Kakarot might have used at least every ounce of that second that he was using to maybe bait Micro to just prematurely peek him as he was trying to actively look for Micro. So I don't know if that was, I don't know if that was the grave mistake that Kakarot made or what, but it really was down to the seconds there, Raph.
Indeed it was. It is truly a game of inches as Kakarot is going to get tagged down again. That spiderweb that is set around Kakarot is slowly crumbling as Pro has been the exterminator. Nearly finds a third, but it's Jot to back him up. And now Micro refuses to lose a duel. He finds one. He is so low, but he gets the second. And South Build convincingly take the last round of this series. And my, what an exchange between these two juggernauts.
Wow. What a game. Oh my, I was at the edge of my monoblock seat, my man. That's
Please don't break it, sir. And he's not lying. I have been planted on such a firm throne. But once again, congratulations to